Oh boy, we are making a Persona-like video today. Sorry, no gameplay of Persona. Anyways, jokes aside, we're actually going to be making a video touching on some of the themes and little bits and pieces of Persona that I find have really changed my life. So I would like to share that with you people today, because I feel that there is a lot from this game that gets overlooked. You know what? It's a video game, so we kind of play it for leisure. We might play it for the characters, or the romance, because yeah, people will play Persona just for the romance. And yes, I am looking at you, Persona 5's Kawakami. Yes, I said it. Kawakami. But looking beyond the romance of Persona, there is a lot more to it. So each game really has a lot, like one broad theme, or sort of this big objective, goal, that kind of stuff. So Persona 3 is really about facing your depression and such, and also the topic Memento Mori kind of appears as well. It's basically knowing you must die. It sounds very gruesome, I know, but there's sort of a beauty behind Memento Mori, which is basically you still live. Knowing that one day your life will come to an end, you still live. And the big motto on my channel that I always say in half my videos is to live. Now, there's a lot of different situations people are in, and sometimes it's harder for people to live, but we can all live in our own unique way. Like I mentioned, I don't really let the fear of money get to me, but now I do understand that some people are a lot less fortunate than I am. Some people are down to the dollar, and I really feel sorry for those people, and I wish I could help them. But even in the hardest of times, we can still find ways to live. In the face of death, who knows when our time will come? One day, we'll pass on in some way. Don't know what way until it happens. But that's where the beauty comes in, because you still live. You wake up every morning. You know what? Your routine may be kind of funny, but that's where some of these little things that you can do come into play. Find joy in the little things. Pick up the phone and talk to that person that you haven't spoken to in ages. There's a lot of little things in life that can really help and make life a lot more worth living. And yet you have them right there in front of you. And then the best part is we all still do all this stuff in the face of death, which is quite honestly one of the craziest things ever. And it has really changed my life recently. I'm not saying that I'm gonna die tomorrow, but knowing that one day I will go, just like the rest of us, unless they make us into cyborgs or something, wouldn't that be something? Extend our life by another 100 years. Whoa, we'd see into the 2200s. Damn. Cyborg aside, I definitely show a lot more appreciation for my life, and I really take moments to heart now. The past couple weeks, I've mentioned this a couple times already. I've been struggling with coming back from Alberta, kind of returning to my old life, missing my mother, missing the scenery and all that, leaving my baggage behind, basically. This will be another video I'll make in the future, by the way. Talk about something I've learned leaving my home province. But I can look and be like, yeah, I did that, and it was such an amazing moment in my life. Yeah, I may not be back there right now, but it's a memory I carry forever. It's a story I can tell. There's even lessons behind it. And it was kind of a vacation to me, but there were lessons I learned. And I conquered fears as well. And that's another thing that is very predominant in Persona, is facing your deepest fears. Some of these characters have like just fear of socializing or getting out there. Or they just got fear all around them. Look at Haru from Persona 5. Her father's a corrupt CEO, and he's forcing a marriage onto her. Yeah, if I had a marriage forced onto me, I'd be living in fear. All these characters push through their fear. And look what happened. If you play Persona, you know exactly what happened. I won't spoil it here, but oh boy, as Sojiro says, it's such an amazing story. Because at the end, the characters come together, and they're better than they ever were. But in both Persona 3 and Persona 5, and I'm sure in the other Persona games, the same thing happened. They unlock their persona and they face their fear. They don't let it stop them. Because when you cast away the fear, focus on your goal, anything's possible. Anything. Whatever you dream of, you can make it happen. It may take some work, but you can get it. Anyways, moving on to the next topic. I'm getting a little, going a little crazy over the topic of fear and such. Another thing well, this one's from Persona 5 specifically. This is rebelling against society. So obviously, please, for the love of God, do not start a riot and rebel against everything you know. That is not what rebelling against society means. Rebelling against society, in my eyes, is sort of what my channel has kind of been about. Because around here, we're taking a stand against a lot of social norms. You know, being quiet, being reserved, being stuck in our phones all day. But we're humans. We weren't really born to be stuck in a device 24/7. We were born to get out there. We were born to socialize with our fellow humans. Just like we did back in the day when we were cavemen, right? Grug did not have a cell phone. He had his family, and his family was more than enough for him. And I know it's kind of funny drawing a comparison between the real human race and Grug, but hey, they're still humans, so there you go. So when it comes to rebelling against society, the biggest thing you can do is be yourself. Be yourself. The first video on this channel, at least in this series, is titled Be Yourself. Because, again, like I mentioned in that video, I recommend you go watch that video if you want the full context of being yourself and such. But when you are yourself, when everything really lines up, you make it line up. You're with the right people, the right setting, and all that stuff. Or even if you just have the right people, because sometimes we don't have the right setting. Some of us are struggling in our settings, but sometimes all we need is the right people to cheer us on and say, yeah, Braxer, you like video games. That's so cool. And that goes with anybody. And I find that's a problem that a lot of people have, is they surround themselves with the wrong people. They call them friends, but are they really your friend? Do friends go at you for your likes? Do they go at you for chasing your goals? Hell, I'm gonna say it. Do they go at you for outgrowing them? Because that's another thing in Persona, is growth. And this is sort of indirectly related to it. It's sort of part of growing. So people come and go. And I've touched on this in a separate video already. But friends come and go. And I think, honestly, that true friends will understand that things come and go. You know what? I'll tell a little story right quick. Where I'm from right now, I've got some friends in person. Some friends that I may not talk to too much. I'll talk to them though. I just got together with some friends this past weekend. And this is not to say that we're just gonna fall apart or whatnot, that it's game over. But what I'm aware of right now is that one day it may change. Because, spoiler warning for Persona, you skip ahead 5 seconds. At the end, a lot of them split. Welcome back from the jump cut, if you decided to jump ahead. But yeah, so that happens, and the thing is, it's a part of life. Some people are only meant to be part of our lives for a certain chapter. Some people are there when you're starting out. Some people are there in your darkest times. Some people are only there during your lightest times. Some people are only there for a few months, a year, a few years, maybe a decade, maybe even a lifetime. But there are lifetime friends out there, but it's okay that they're not always there. It's just kind of part of the process. We all grow on our own paths. And sometimes we just get so lucky that we can meet these people that are maybe right at the same spot we are. I've got some friends that I've met at work, I've met online, I've met in school. And the common denominator is that places I'm not in anymore, the friendship is still there, but it's still not really at its fullest. It could be better, but it doesn't have to be crazy. And nowadays, I don't have the time for all that. But I'll fit them in my schedule one way or another. We're just not going to get together so much. You know what? Maybe every few weeks, a month, a couple months if it's a really busy time. That's okay. Because, like I mentioned in the People Come and Go video, what matters most is that those people stay consistent in your life. People get busy. And that's a reality. But the key is that people still stay consistent. They're still there for each other. And that's something else that happens in Persona, is that sometimes people get busy. Maybe they got something else going on, but they still make time for Makoto or Ren or you. I think that's the Persona 4 protagonist's name. We're going to start talking Persona 4 now that it's been announced. But these people, regardless of the outcome, each and every one has their own purpose on some varying level of degree. There's people that I'll meet down the road that may be there for a lifetime, or maybe they're just there to welcome me into some new spot with open arms, and then they're just done with me. Alright, thanks for the warm welcome. But at the end, what matters most is if these people make a good impact on you. And if somebody's made a good impact on you, and if you walk away, the friendship sort of fizzles a little bit, and if it does die, it's okay. Because both of you walked away knowing that you guys made each other happy for a season. The final thing I'd like to talk about is a bit more of a nerdy thing in a way, and is also a bit more of an analogy that I kind of go by actually now with my life. And that's the social stats in Persona. We all have our own social stats. Yes, life is not a video game, but our brains adapt. And what happens when you do things? If you go out there, eat a gigantic burger, alright, your courage goes up. I don't know how that happens in real life, but maybe it could happen. You study, your academics get better. You talk to people, your kindness, your charisma, that goes up. And don't think for a second that it doesn't go up, because it does. How this really relates with real life, the social stats, really comes from the fact that we're just working on ourselves. And the social stats in Persona is just a visual representation of your protagonist, your character, the person you're controlling. And that applies with you as well. Secretly, you may not be able to see it all the time, but your social stats are going up. I mean, right now, I think I'm at a level 2 charisma and kindness right now. If my fool's journey started back in April, I've leveled up. I've done some serious stuff, and I've gotten up there. I'm still not perfect. I still get scared, but I've leveled up. And you, my friend, can level up as well. We all can level up in our own unique way. If there's one other thing I'd like to mention before the end of this video, is that everybody's path is different. Same with these protagonists and all these other characters in Persona. Everybody's story is different, and they face it in their own unique way. So your story is possibly a lot different to mine. Maybe we share some similarities and such, but just know we all kind of have our own messes, but we can all have our story. We can all get better. And at the end, we'll be happy. We'll level up our social stats till the day we die, guys. We'll reach levels that we've never heard of. With that being said, that's it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. As always, stay safe, take care. Cheers.